Game of the Year contender. Now before I get started, I want to thank you for supporting my first ever review on this channel. I also asked for like 5 likes and received more than that, so I'm truly grateful for those who supported me in general, and I thought this would be the perfect time to review this project. Developed by Populous Development Studio One More Level, and is also co-published by All In Games and 505 Games. I also just finished playing Ghostrunner at this time right now that I'm in production. Now I'm going to do what I've done last time with the Ghost of Tsushima review, since I did just beat the game. It was not easy, like you don't understand how many deaths it took me to lose my goddamn mind in this game. It broke me and I completely lost the will to fight, but I did enjoy myself with this one here, even if there were a couple of issues I had with the game itself. So I will get into it now, my official Ghostrunner review that I am really thrilled to talk about on this channel here. Ghostrunner officially released on October 27th of this year, recently released on Nintendo Switch, and I also own a Switch, so I'll do gameplays on that console as well. Stick around for more. Ghostrunner, in my honest opinion, feels like its own thing, with some mixed ideas with other past games. Not necessarily trying to say it's like those games. Something about it feels different. But some aspects of the game has some similarities to the game that comes in mind, like when it comes to the gameplay. It reminds me of Shadow Warrior 2. Platforming wise reminds me of Titanfall 2, with the wall running and the fucking puzzles from Tomb Raider and Uncharted series. And oh yeah, remember when I said I had some issues with Ghostrunner? Well yeah, this is one of them. I can understand why in Tomb Raider and Uncharted they're like discovery, ancient items, shit like that. But here I don't see any reason of this mechanic, especially in a cyberpunk hardcore first-person shooter game. It takes away the fun of Ghostrunner, replace it with something that doesn't have to do with what I was here for, since your character is basically supposed to find upgrades and a guide that helps you use those upgrades, which is a good thing that they do. So again, why is this boring ass shit in the game? It really affects this review because I really enjoy this game, but even a masterpiece isn't perfect. I don't like puzzles in video games in general. They're not fun, even if the part, if it has to do with the story itself. It still doesn't take away how much fun I had from Ghostrunner. So it doesn't take away anything that I love about this game. I am also aware of this game's mixed criticisms on the story and how some voice acting scripts towards the game isn't all that great. Although I might agree, it doesn't ruin the gameplay, and the whole point of these games are fun. You don't need a story for a game to be good, like the original Doom game proved that. And even though Dark Souls has a story, I'm pretty sure most people who played the game has no idea what's going on, since they're so fixated on the gameplay. Another reason why some cases story doesn't matter. Despite all that, it's a must-have game. Even though there are some criticisms of how the game is quote-unquote hard, it's worth the experience. It's something new. I'm really impressed with how good this game looked and how futuristic it came out, given the fact that this game's settings are futuristic in general. And for some reason that this game is only $30 and it looks this good, shit, I'll take it. Don't mind if I do. I'm sure I've shared some of my opinions already, and I want to get deeper with this discussion. Remember how my Ghost of Tsushima review I told you what my Game of the Year contenders were? Well yeah, there is a new contender, and I swear if none of these games win Game of the Year, I'ma shit myself. How many great games came out this year and ain't even over yet, and still many games to complete on my Switch, like the new Paper Mario game and Hybrid, which is releasing this month. Really looking forward to that one as well. Ori coming on the Switch. Now I believe it's already on the Switch, but only digital. But I'm trying to get on this, which comes out on December. But anyways, sorry for being off topic. Like I was saying, Ghostrunner is worthy of Game of the Year, and it also counts as a 2021 game since it did release late this year. So similar with the Covain issue. I'll share more of my opinions when I get into the game design, since there is still more I would like to say on Ghostrunner. But for now, if you had made it this far, feel free to share your thoughts in the comments down below. Let me know how you personally feel on Ghostrunner and the review so far, what you're looking forward to, and everything to express. So yeah. Here's when I start talking about the characters that had an important role for their part, like Jack. which is actually the main protagonist in Ghostrunner, who our perspective is on, as we learn, is the only Ghostrunner who survived during the slaughter of the other Ghostrunners. Jack seeks revenge on, as we call, the Keymaster, who I'll get into later by the way, that got rid of all the Ghostrunners, pretty much. The character himself isn't all that, how to put it, interesting. He barely talks throughout the journey, and he doesn't seem motivated, seems careless. Now you're starting to understand some of the results this game received. Not that it bothered me. I'm not picky as long as the gameplay is enjoyable. It never bothered me, but it's still, as a main character, this is the most least interesting character in the game that had to offer. In the beginning of the game, your first objective is to save the Architect. Throughout your journey, he'll provide you with everything you need to know, including combat, getting to know your enemies, and understanding each risk you take. So how do I feel about this character? Well, by the end of the game, I didn't know how to feel or what to feel. And this isn't a spoiler review, so let's leave it at that. He's just blank. I really don't know what to say about this guy. But yeah.
This may feel a little strange.
The small turbines are responsible for internal circulation.
A remaining survivor who you'll come across as later progress to the game is actually the only character I really like. I mean, as you progress, she is willing to help you, even risk her life to get you to where you need to be. She even finds an emotionless character like Jack to be interesting. Like, come on. I see this as an absolute win. If they were to make a sequel, I would love to see her make another appearance. Please do. Mara is the Keymaster. I mean, it's pretty obvious from the trailers. The main antagonist in the game who wipes most of the Ghostrunners. I was so pumped for her fight. They made her so OP in the trailers just to be disappointed on how much she was easier. At least compared to the first boss in Hell. It wasn't a bad boss fight, but the difficulty was a bit lacky. Especially how she looked so OP. Still a unique antagonist next to someone else who I won't name cause no spoilers, damn it.
As long as that demon in your head exists.
Here's something I've been looking forward to. The visuals and environment is off the fucking charts. I fucking love this game's atmosphere. It's challenging, fun, and very energetic. It's quick pacing considering the environment is challenging, as well as the enemies in the game, which you'll encounter a new one as the game progresses on. If you want to know the difficulty in this game, it's hard. Oh, it's hard. Just my kind of game, but to be professional, it's more challenging than hard. At least sometimes. There was this one level in the game where I kept dying on the train part. It's most part I've died. It's the most I've ever died in a game in such a while. I'm not so sure if I just suck at these games, but I've seen some gameplays where no one else is dying. Everyone else seems so fine, but why me? Why do I have to be the one dying, everyone else? And, you know, just... I seem to play these games just fine, just to get fucked by some level that almost seems impossible to counter. It amazes me on how I was able to beat the game, because it's also about being patient. And if you don't have the patience, don't even bother. This isn't your kind of game. Just don't fuck with it. I really find it funny that this game was only about 2-3 hours long, so it was pretty short, but considering how many times I've died in this game, it made it seem like it was long, so I really couldn't tell any difference. So yeah, that's that. But anyways, there is no difficulty settings, so I was wondering why was I getting my ass handed to. Then I realized there was no settings to change the difficulty. Like, oh, okay, it's one of those games. Very cool, 505 games. Another issue that I had was the enemy placements. Now I don't know if it's just me, but something didn't seem right. Whether I started heading to a new area, wall running, there seems to be an enemy near me where I can't see until my first encounter with the enemy. And I know this game, it's movement strategy based, getting used to the environment you interact with, so I didn't let it bother me. I just come to win and achieve greatness. Since I mentioned I like a challenge, I'm aware that this is a small studio who worked on this project together, so I won't go hard on them. It's not like I wasn't having fun or didn't like the game. I already said I enjoyed it, but still, with everything I said, the gameplay is amazing, like Doom with a blade, and they really were creative with this one. It paid off from the settings and the tone. It's something I admire, and I am truly grateful for it. This is what I always look forward to mentioning on these reviews and what I love most on these games, and that is the boss battles. In this game, what makes these bosses challenging is that you're a one-shot, meaning you get hit once and you're dead. Meaning you gotta go all the way to where you started sometimes, but it's fair. It's rewarding and it's worth going through all this suffering as you get through the game. You already know how I feel on the final boss fight with Mara. I was a little disappointed, still really enjoy the fight. Hell was a pain, but once you get with the rhythm, it isn't that hard. Now the first boss is a fucking disaster. I can't tell you how many times I've died to this piece of junk, and I don't even know what was happening. Like, who was I fighting, which way the lasers go, and it was just so much going on. It was just that first part. If you thought this wasn't enough, no, they added the extra shits on your shit that leads to you getting fucked. Every time no one was safe, I wasn't safe, and I mean, since everyone else seems to be doing fine, it's like shit. Still, the bosses were fun and kept me on guard at all times. Very, very enjoyable. I might not be the only one who played through Ghostrunner, ever stopped and focused on secrets and found some wordings interesting that can lead to what you'll face by the end of the game. Now, it's understandable since the story wasn't the best, and it still didn't bother just to look around and find some details and observe secrets. Those question marks that give you items about the game or cool looking swords, I just love the extra details, and it's nice to go back to the game just to appreciate that it exists in the first place. The developers, writers, and producers did a very good job with this genre of next step game design. Story was a bit out of place. Still, that never stopped me from having fun and enjoy this cyber action first person shooter game that led me with excitement. My overall review for Ghostrunner is a 7.5 out of 10. What do you think on this cyber science first person shooter? I'd say it's worth giving a try, you know. Be sure to check out my other related videos down below in my description. I have a lot of fun and looking forward to my Nintendo Switch that I just got. So there will be more content coming very soon. I really hope you enjoy this and have a good one, y'all.